Hi, folks, with Tacitus today, your pushback channel, and thank you for joining this audio radio live stream. In this essay, I'd like to talk about how the mainstream news, all the legacy media, all the mainstream news channels and media channels and outlets, how we all know they're used for telling lies and propaganda delivery and coordinating the message and the globalist message. We all know that, but the tactics and style is sort of something that interests me. Now, I've noticed that they've adopted a method of operation here, an MO, standard operating procedure, where they'll run the news stories which have the headline, volcano erupts, so and so. So that'll be the factual headline. But then each story is used as a springboard or a launch pad for delivering propaganda. So the story isn't about the volcano going off, and they'll throw a bit of pathos in there. The volcano goes off, and black lesbian was burned badly with her trans black daughter and dressed in pink. And so they'll create a pathos thing. Most of that invented anyway, but then they'll dive straight into the thing. And the reason for the volcano going off is because of neo-Nazis preventing measures against climate change. And then they'll go neo-Nazis, the far right. Then they'll go on political parties are aligned with so they'll do a smear job. They'll just invent that. They'll use the story as a launch pad for propaganda. And you just go through each paragraph: lie, 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 lie. Insane exaggeration, lie, lie. So there's hardly anything factual or truthful in it. It's simply a hysterical, ideological, piece of propaganda that is being put out, but they use a headline and an actual event to do the launch pad thing. And I find this now with pretty much every story. Now I'm looking now at, I'll go to it now and put my glasses on. I look at it now. So now this particular media outlet is one of the biggest in the world, and has many millions, tens of millions, probably over a week. If you look at their online and all their various programs and channels and so on, there'd be over 100 million viewers in a week. So they're clearly big players and influential. So now there's the lead story is about Donald Trump. Now they're saying that the court means a particular landmark, groundbreaking legal thing that shows Trump was responsible for electoral interference, electoral fraud, and then they go far right, then he's a Nazi, then he supports Nazis, then and just straight away into this absolute cascading with worse than fucking Niagara Falls, the amount of things, and they're inserting everything they can. Something that he said 20 years ago, which means he's racist and far right. So the whole thing is just a launch pad to really just pile on and dump on Trump. So I don't think there's anything factual. I'm just reading through it, just looking through it. There's hardly anything that's factual in there at all. Or if there is a fact, they remove every sort of possible context to it, so that it appears. The whole idea is to make him look like a bad guy. That there is no other. It is just a hit piece, an attack piece, and of course he's the biggest danger to the globalists. And this media outlet is sticking tightly and doggedly with much doctrinaire commitment to the globalist message. The next one here is the next story is. Israel is far right and neo-Nazi, and Hamas are the oppressed victims, and again, very light on fact, lots of lies and lots of very emotive stuff. Little Hassan is 3 years old and he is crying because his little sister, photographed dressed in pink. His little sister has been and his mother Sula is crying, bitterly crying, weeping tears because and so lots of pathos, all emotional, all propaganda, all bullshit, just to make Israel look bad. Then there's a story here about King Charles having cancer, and but then that's an attack piece on the royal family, British institutions, establishments, they're all racist and so on. Then there's a story here. Now, this is a story where animals in a zoo have been dying in a very, very poor, dirt poor country that's got in a state of civil war, and no one's feeding the zoo animals, and some of them are being grabbed anyway to be eaten by the locals. So what's the issue here? Is it the civil war? Is it it's a dirt poor basket case country? No, it's none of those things. It's climate change is causing it. That's what it is. So then they go off on climate change again, attacking anyone that questions climate change as being neo-Nazi. Vladimir Putin is evil. Next story. Patriarchy is the next story. And anybody who wants to hold anyone in Joe Biden's administration responsible for the illegal mass immigration southern border is a Nazi and a fascist and but it's an attack piece on them. There's the EU is modifying their policy on global warming, supposed global warming action, or to prevent global warming, and this is only because the far right has forced them into it. All those fucking Nazis everywhere. So the hit piece. So they've used just the simple administrative sort of plans there to go and attack all this. These Nazis are everywhere. There are so many fucking Nazis. Hold on a minute. Oh, God damn it, Hitler is just under the table here. Oh, Jesus. It just shows you how many Nazis there are. Now there's a health emergency in a certain country, and that's because there was not enough activity to prevent climate change in that country. So the climate exists only over that specific country and nowhere else in the world, just because those guys didn't do it. It's created a health emergency, which again, holy crap, this also was caused by the far right. Here's a sports thing that there's not enough black people in this particular sport, which shows that racism and holy crap, the far right again. Wow, the far right is everywhere. Is affecting equality of outcomes in race and sport. There's political upheaval in a particular country. What's caused? Is it because it's a corrupt basket case dirt poor country? No, it's caused by patriarchy. The patriarchy is causing it. And guess what? The patriarchy is far right. Another hit piece on Israel about the Hamas war and conflict. Another hit piece about a dirt poor third world basket case country is only that reason is only a basket case, even though they've been a basket case like forever, is only a basket case today because of the patriarchy again oppressing women. If women were allowed to be in charge, then it would be a rich, bountiful paradise where milk and honey just flowed in the rivers. Another one about the patriarchy. Fuck me, the patriarchy's bad. Another dump piece on Trump, saying that even though he's the most villainous person ever in human history, and wait for it, a member of the far right, he could still win, which because there's so many fucking redneck Nazis in America. Did you know that there are so many redneck Nazis in America, all goose stepping, all the whole lot, that they actually form the majority now in America, and so it just shows how far right the world is, and shows we should all be scared of the far right. Then in a third world country here. There's a stunning and brave woman who's standing for election here, just showing she's fighting the patriarchy and, wait for it, also fighting the far right. And what doesn't say, and it took me like 10 seconds to check online, is that she's being funded by some of the radical Soros type NGOs. Otherwise, she would never have done it, would never have the money or resources. So that, in my view, is outside election interference, but that's not mentioned here. Instead, this is a stunning and brave woman fighting back against the Nazi patriarchy. Another story here about Israel and Gaza. Little girls desperate, please stop them from hurting you, because the far right Israelis are threatening her and so on. So another story here about an earthquake. The earthquake had happened, and that's true. But straight away they go into a story about how the earthquake actually affects women more than it affects men. And so the response of the authorities was too slow, or as the article argues, too slow to assist people after the earthquake. And what's that a sign of? Patriarchy. Fucking patriarchy. That's what it is. Because if men had been buried under there, then suddenly the authorities would have gone ballistic, running around saving it. It's because it's women. Don't care. Because of the fucking patriarchy. We're almost back in the far right camp there. Amazing how consistent these stories are. Whoa. So a activist leftist, an activist leftist guy is going to donate money to some gay lesbian cause. So he's a wonderful gay guy. A story about global warming, another story about global warming, which again, we'd have this global warming or climate change problem solved if it wasn't for all the fucking Nazis and the far right. It's all you got to do is flick a switch, everything will be fixed. It wasn't for those damn fucking Nazis, and it's a push button issue. Taylor Swift is wonderful, and anybody who says anything against her is a Nazi in the far right. A gay singer has died, which is terrible. A right wing, or what they claim is right wing, I would call him very centrist, but a centrist politician in a third world country has won an election, and so because the guy isn't a screaming lefty globalist, then I love how when a pro-globalist gets elected, then it's, no matter how dirty the election is, then it's completely legitimate, because the people we want are winning. But if someone else wins, like a Trump, or if someone else wins, then it's far right, Pat, neo-Nazi, it's Hitler, and which of course is utterly insane. But so again, they jump straight in there that he was once seen with a far right person. So they do all this guilt by association, and so a pile on there saying he's a Nazi. Another pile on in Israel here saying how it's indiscriminate attacks for no reason, that they did another one. In fact, there's another 4 or 5 stories here piling in Israel saying how evil they are and how oppressed the Palestinians are. So what else we got here? There's a story about Tucker Carlson, who's going to interview, or as this article asserts, is going to interview Vladimir Putin, and that's my understanding of that's either happened or going to happen. And Tucker Carlson, he's a journalist going to interview a political journalist. He covers politics, and is going to interview a political leader, which is hardly controversial, but no, that is here, because Tucker Carlson is a member of the, wait for it, get ready, the far right. And he's interviewing Putin, who's also a member of, wait for it, the far right. And so they're going to get together, and it's just going to be a far right loving, fascist, neo-Nazi. It's got it all. And so, and that proves what a dangerous place the world is when a journalist that covers politics interviews a politician. Then, fuck, the world's coming to an end here. So anyway, look, that's a roundup. But every story here, every single fucking story is just simply a launching pad to go into globalist propaganda. And apart from the headline, such as there was a volcano going off, so apart from the headline, everything else is just narrative, woven narrative that is 100% consistent with and in accordance with the globalist message and script. You've been with Tassos today, your Pushback channel, and thank you for listening.